Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Friday. It's a heat wave here in SoCal. I don't know how the weather is over there, but stay cool, stay calm, stay collective. Basically, stay cool and don't snitch on your coworkers the way Sierra snitched on Cassidy. She was on the She's All Bach podcast, which I cannot encourage you guys enough to go check out the podcast. I don't care what you read on Reddit or on someone's Instagram timestamps. I listen to it so you don't have to. I'm telling you right now, the original source, always listen to the whole episode to get the full context. We're going to share a little bit. We're going to give you an appetizer. Go over there for the main dish. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals for stand-up show updates and patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. If you want to see how this episode got made, you're going to need to go to my Patreon. This is I'm not kidding when I tell you, this is what goes on the Patreon. I have this bare screen here, right? I actually use this camera angle. There's me right there, right? And I've got my thumbnail. And so sometimes when I make a thumbnail, this happens, right? I'll make I'll take Sierra's full photo. Like, here's a full photo of Sierra, and then I will clip it down, and then you'll get to see this version, right? No big deal. I do that. Plus, I add all of the text message, the texting. I'll add the different things there and that, and get rid of Cassidy and all these other things, right? But then someone told me, they said, Dave, be careful. So you might not notice this, but in the original photo, hold on a second. In the original photo of Sierra, she's got her middle finger right here, right? There's her middle finger. When I clipped it, her finger was actually cut off, and someone said, hey, Dave, Sierra's missing a finger. But so what I did was I repainted the finger right here with my own sort of finger painting or whatever. I did that. And added a little finger so that you can clearly see it's not a real finger. And then they were like, oh my gosh, Dave, she actually has her finger cut off. Your what are you doing? And then I realized it was the pinky finger is the one that she actually has cut off. And she's talked about whatever accident it was that led to that. I don't remember. But either way, that's how I make the content. And you can go watch me do it if you're into Photoshop and how things are built. That's how we build it all over there. All right. But we are actually building a storyline of just wild interview on She's All Bach. I have to tell you, we're a little free-flowing today because it's Friday. A real wild interview we're going to get to in a second, but also if you want to check out, I've got other content coming your way on Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast, including Zach sharing how he got addicted to heroin. It's a pretty interesting story and very, very much common due to, surgeries and injuries. People will get, blow out their knee and then they'll go on painkillers. And next thing you know, they can't afford the addiction and they have to go to cheaper drugs. And someone on the street says, have you tried this? And next thing you know, it's life-threatening. It really is. If you haven't seen the miniseries on Hulu called Dope Sick, starring Michael Keaton, I'm telling you, we are in the middle of an opioid pandemic. The pharmaceutical companies are raking in billions and we're all suffering and we're crying for help and we need to do something about it. But anyway, I'm going to play his clip on today's podcast along with some others. So we've got She's All Bach. We've got what Sierra said about Michael yesterday. We covered that. Again, it's all in the She's All Bach episode. And now let's go to our normal frame right here. Now we're going to play what Sierra had to say about Cassidy. Now you have to remember, Cassidy on Clayton season had a Friends with Benefit, which was exposed, and she was kind of, I don't know, it created a debate between some people, and by the way, who's she reading right there? Glennon Doyle, I don't know who that is. Either way, there was a debate over whether or not you can have a Friends with Benefit before going on the show, which I think you absolutely can. You can literally hook up with someone the night before you go on the show, if you're the type that can separate your heart from your sexual organs and all that. I think that's 2023. I think some people can do that. I think most people can, and some people can't. It's up to you what you do with your body. But so either way, she had that guy on the back burner from before going on the show, and maybe after she broke up with Clayton or he dumped her, maybe she went back to him. Either way, here's what Sierra had to say about it. Have a listen.
Like liars too, it just pisses me off. So it was just one of those things where she acts like this little angel in front of him, but I'm like, bitch, you're not a fucking angel. And I'm like, if you're not an angel, that's fine. Just own up to it.
She said, B, you're not an effing angel. If you're not, that's fine. Own up to it.
Like, if you're going to be saucy, be saucy and own up to it. And so anyways, that pissed me off. So I remember me and Incy looked at each other and like, ooh, we immediately go downstairs. We played it off. We're like, ah.
So it seems to be she's already got a bone to pick with Cassidy.
Downstairs and immediately check the clocks, what time it is, because we don't have like our phones or anything, right? So we run downstairs, we go to the microwave, we're like, what time is it? What time is it? And so we're like, okay, 3:15. So then we go to like a producer and tell our producer everything, and we're like, hey, at 3:15, check our mics. We're not lying. This is what happened. Like, this is what Cassidy said. Like, this is what happened. Like.
So she hears Cassidy snitch about having a friends with benefit, a private conversation they had, but they are mic'd up. So technically it's like they've already signed the contracts. What they say can and will be used against them. But maybe the producers are already onto it. But the fact that she's excited about running to the microwave to find out what time it is. And it's like, Sierra, I'm glad the microwave worked at your place at the Bachelor Mansion. If you came to my parents' home, the microwave time doesn't work. I've never seen a clock in my parents' home that's set at the right time. My mom will always, I'm like, oh, I'm late. She'll be like, oh, that clock's 15 minutes early, so you have to do the math. It's like, why is the clock 15? The greatest thing that iPhones ever gave us is that you don't mess with the time. The time is the time. But because my stepdad is inherently late to everything, my mom's got to switch the clock times so that, he actually shows up to places. But then once they realize the clock's the wrong time, they do the math and like, well, it's not 4, it's 3:45. You need it, was like, whatever. All right, so either way, they go to the microwave, they find out what time it is.
And we're not supposed to be FaceTiming people when we're in the hotel, like before filming. We're not supposed to do any of that stuff. So that was another thing, was like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, you're FaceTime, like, you're not even supposed to be FaceTiming anybody at all, but like, let alone him. And you're in the hotel while we're like getting ready to go off to the show. Like, I don't know. It was just shady. And I was just like, don't play this man like this. Like, you are trouble.
Now, she said, don't play this man like this. And that's where and again, I like Sierra. By the way, I think she's got a great voice. She released a song. It sounded fantastic. I really hope she's going to release some more music. But, and I say but here because I need to qualify this and say, I like Sierra, but this is messy because don't pretend like you've got Clayton. You've got Clayton's sort of like heart on the line here. Like, you're worried about Clayton here. You didn't even like Clayton. You said you said earlier in the episode he's not bad looking. Like, you weren't there to kiss him. You were there for you could almost argue worse reasons than Cassidy, because at least Cassidy was on the bar top making out with him, or was that Shanae? Either way, what a mess of a season Clayton's season was, right? What a mess of a season. We didn't get that on Zach Shallcross's season. We did not get the messiness. Bring back Sierra. Bring back Cassidy. But look, yeah, I think Cassidy was into Clayton. I think she was there to pursue him, and I think Sierra at least had the intention to pursue Clayton, but just wasn't that into him, right? So Sierra then goes on Bachelor in Paradise. We covered it already, and you can go listen. Again, I implore you, listen to She's All Batch. Don't just think that it's, whatever you think, like reading the different notes that people have, go listen to the full thing. I'm not playing all of it, just a clip. But Sierra goes on, after going on Bachelor in Paradise, has said, I need to get things off my chest based on what Michael said and did. She did that months ago, and she's still kind of throwing them under the bus. Bachelor in Paradise's Sierra Jackson throws shade at Michael. Just wanted to get it out of my system. So she wanted to get it out of her system on October 20th, 2022. And now, 9 months later, a full baby's birth later, she's keeping it out of her system. There's obviously, she's under the belief that Michael wasted her time on Bachelor in Paradise while they waited for Danielle to show up, which may or may not be true. I can't look into it. Everyone's pretty much playing games. Obviously, you try to play them in a way that's not super insulting, the way Brendan Moraes did when he was waiting for Piper. Are Brandon and Piper still together? Brendan Moraes and Piper? We don't know. But either way, Brendan Moraes lost all of his followers while Michael kind of like skated free. And maybe that's because they didn't have Michael sort of on a hot mic being so deceptive as Brendan was when he was toying along. Was it Natasha? I don't even remember at this point. I think it was Natasha. Right? And then Danielle went on Caitlin Bristow's podcast and they called Sierra what's her face, and then Caitlin had to apologize. Sierra, I'm deeply sorry. I've been reflecting for a few days and I see where I went wrong. I sent you a DM a couple days ago and one now on Instagram. Would love to apologize offline and to you personally and blah blah blah. So anyway, Oh boy, it was just so. I mean, and God bless Sierra for creating so much drama here. Or I shouldn't say creating the drama, but sort of sharing her opinions on the drama. We made this video just yesterday, and it was supposed to be our big video of the day. And then, of course, Charity came in and said, "Hold my Tecate," and then Charity came in and smacked Nick Viall around a little bit. And in this video, Sierra blasted Michael. So she's really, she's got her opinions. We respect it. And it's up to people to decide if they kind of want to F with that or not. So this came in. Again, this is Demois, which will take completely unvetted screen grabs from people spreading rumors. But this came in. So anybody could have said this. Sweetheart couple in trouble. Rumors swirling this favorite paradise couple from a well-known show have broken up. Did this widower lead his love on? Seems this big move to be close didn't end up working out. And of course, that's Danielle and Michael. It's really who it could only be. And we have not seen Michael comment on her most recent post. But again, that does not mean anything. That does not mean anything. She let's see here, started the process of freezing her eggs. And she said she'll share more about that later. And in that post, I don't think we've got Michael there. But again, they could be texting with each other nonstop. It appears, and here's what happens, right? When you've been dating long enough, you stop commenting on every one of each other's posts. Like I said the other day, I don't think my wife's commented on one of my posts since the Reagan administration. Doesn't mean she doesn't love me. It means we see each other in the flesh, and our relationship's not performative, and we don't have to worry about this or that. With that said, the last time we saw Michael comment, it looks like was this post that I'm assuming was a Father's Day post, and he said, "Thanks, babe, this is so sweet." And then she said, "You're my favorite." So chances are they're perfectly fine, and anybody could have started this rumor. The last post that she commented on was not this one. Let's try to find out where the last post was. 3 weeks ago. So this would have lined up if she hasn't commented on him since maybe the Father's Day time period. We still don't see her there. We're going farther back. 4 weeks ago, Danielle commented. So nothing going on in the last 4 weeks. Again, it means nothing, but this is what you do when you cover The Bachelor. You keep people on your radar. My hope is that they're perfectly fine. I am always rooting on love. I don't know if Sierra's found love. If she has, I'm very happy for her. If she hasn't, it'll keep being you and living to the highest version of yourself, and people will be attracted to that. But either way, she snitched on Cassidy. Let me know what you think. It's one of those things. I mean, do you appreciate the mess, or has it gone too far? Love to know what you think. And please check out She's All Batch podcast. Good friends of the program. We'll talk to you guys later.